All right, today we are working on my 2004 Audi A8L. The check engine light is on, and we just did a oil change and some other services. So we're going to use my launch scanner here to scan the codes and reset the check engine light, and then also reset the service interval on this car. Some of you are aware that the Audis, you need a VCDS laptop scan done on them, but this launch actually does a good job of clearing codes and resetting service intervals and stuff like that. It's going to want me to enter the VIN here, so I'm going to pause and go do that real quick. All right, so I've got the VIN entered here. I'm going to do the scan. This actually is saying it's a 2005, which is not what the VIN says. I'm not sure what's going on there. Sometimes this scan takes a while on these cars. They're pretty complicated as far as the computer goes. Looks like that has 8 fault codes in the engine. So as you can see, we've got the check engine light on right now. Then see, we've got the service light, and then it looks like the bulb fault error light is on, which I believe is a parking light. And we still got the scan running here. All right, so the scan is done running here. These launches are nice. They've got a touch screen and everything. Looks like we've got 8 check engine light codes, a couple brake codes, a brake button code, not sure what that is. So then you can just go right into here. So we've got a engine mount, right engine mount, camshaft adjustment code, O2 sensor code, power supply. That power supply code shows up in a lot of these A8 D3 chassis cars. Intake air sensor, bank 1 circuit high, mass airflow. And I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and just clear all of these out and see what comes back on. It looks like we have a rear brake lining worn code for the brake sensor for the rear brake shoes, or excuse me, pads. All right, so we're going to clear these codes out, see what comes on when we exit out of this. I think it's going to redo a scan here. Clear fault memory. So it looks like the brake lining code came back on, which I was kind of expecting. And from here I will go in and reset the service interval, and then we will start it and see if any of those engine codes come back on. All right, to reset the service interval, we're going to go reset, oil reset. That's the current version. We got Audi, switch ignition to on, which it's currently on there. We'll try the auto reset. Sometimes this takes a few times. We'll do the minor maintenance. We're going to do the 5,180 days. It's going to go through, reset the mileage and the date counter on here. Reset succeeded. So I'm gonna click OK. Now I'm gonna shut the ignition off. See if I can get the key back in here again. And we're gonna go ahead and start it. And it looks like the check engine light went off. We'll see if that service interval stays off as well. Okay, we've got our bulb warning light back on, but it looks like the service light is off. So I will do another video with diagnosis of whatever check engine light comes back on after I test drive the vehicle. Just a follow-up, when I did the oil change on this 4.2 motor, which is the earlier non-FSI style, there is actually an oil filter under all of this. You have to remove this whole intake air assembly, which includes unplugging the mass airflow sensor, which also has the intake air temp sensor integrated into the sensor itself. So I'm pretty sure that's why that check engine light had come on. Nothing did come back on again, so everything's good to go. This was my first video. Thanks for bearing with me here.